Good morning, everyone. This is Wednesday, June 13th, 2018, with a video co-mind report. My name is Chris McClary from the National Dream Center. What we have today is a lot going on in terms of influences. What we're doing with a co-mind report, for those who are new, is to look at the major influences that are around you that are influencing the way you think, feel, and behave. It doesn't mean that it's going to determine what your behaviors are, but it is definitely going to be an influence. And if you know what that influence is ahead of time, you can ward off, say, negative thoughts, behaviors, and turn them into more of a positive. Basically, have more control over your life. So we're going to start with a DreamBot run, which is what I have right next to me. Unfortunately, this current software doesn't show the cursor correctly, so I'm just going to have to describe what I'm talking about. The first one, obviously, there is bodies. This, for those who are new, DreamBot looks at all the dreams and brings back all the words for the day, and it just so happened that bodies was the number one frequently dreamed word. Now, in terms of just raw frequency, if we did that, we would have the same kind of words over and over again, the same kind of words that are most common in dreams. So this algorithm picks out the ones that are surging compared to its own, the word's own history. Okay, and in terms of surging in comparison to its own frequency, its own history, is the word bodies, 266% above its average. Then we have the surge score of over 100. Normally that means it's going to be some sort of red alert, but just like airplanes, people go missing all the time. Airplanes tend to crash all the time. So my point is, when we used to do these DreamBots, we were only looking at predictive linguistics. Now we're looking at predictive linguistics, but with the co-mind report, which is all about the influence and where the collective unconscious is. So, with the word bodies, it's just very common, and I'm electing to just talk about this potential red alert. Maybe it's if this comes true. I looked at the news. There doesn't appear to be any big headlines with bodies yet. I don't know. To have a headline with the word bodies in it might indicate some sort of missing body. But that's not necessarily what the context is of this DreamBot. If you look at the red arrows, there's only two of them, but the support, I'm looking at support for bodies. If there's no support for that top word that's over 100, then traditionally it didn't qualify as a red alert. But there is a little bit of support, and that is members. Members make up more of a organization. So it's not necessarily physical bodies, but more of like positions. But also you can see throughout the run that there are verbs associated with bodies. So you can be wrapping bodies, you can be joined with bodies, you can be selling bodies. Not that I want you to do that. You can sync bodies, manage bodies, hang bodies. You can chase bodies. These are all the words that are, all the verbs that were there in the run. So there's a lot having to do with human physical bodies, okay? And it doesn't have to be any one thing. It's not maybe merchant oriented or horrific oriented or anything like that. It does seem to be manipulative of the bodies. All right, let's move on, because we're not getting into the influence. These are just kind of hypothetical stuff in terms of linguistics. The other one is the blue arrows in terms of where the dreams and the collective unconscious is. Are the blue arrows: sink, swam, liquid. These are references to water. And so water, there might be something newsworthy, but we're only looking at surge scores in the 20s, so not really that significant. I'm looking at this grouping more of metaphoric for emotions. I love the idea that the connection between water and emotions, because these emotions typically come on as waves. They come and they go, and rarely do they stay for any length of time. And then I just wanted to point out the the word short in the green arrows. Short and shortcut are both together. I guess I could scroll the rest of the run. Yeah, that's about it. Short and shortcut. Don't cut yourself short. If that's an influence today, it's definitely there. I just wanted to point it out because there are metaphors in the dreams, and quite a few of them. And one of those is short and shortcut. So the word short is in that shortcut. I guess it's not really a metaphor, but it is a connection. And it's not a strong influence, but if it is an influence, watch out for that. Don't cut yourself short today. In fact, as you'll see with the astrology, it is far different than cutting yourself short today. We have a new supermoon in Gemini towards the afternoon, and this kind of represents, at least traditionally for most astrologers, and again, I'm not a professional astrologer, but I can kind of assimilate several different people's interpretations of what's going on, and I can see the overlaps. And those overlaps have tended to be the same general consensus of what the collective unconscious is. Not every time, not all the time. And what I've also noticed is that the collective unconscious, or these dream bots, can kind of help us hone in on, if there's several different influences from astrology, we can see which one is really dominant in the collective unconscious. So we'll go through the astrology. The main things from astrology is the new supermoon this afternoon. It's going to represent new paths. But in reality, this new supermoon in Gemini apparently isn't really showing us the new path necessarily. That's another aspect that I'll talk about. But the new moon is showing us the blocks to our dreams. Okay? And that'll be important later because, we'll go into it now. Mercury sextile Uranus, it's an exciting energy. It's all about new approaches and experimenting, but it's in terms of communication, and communicating in new ways can kind of give you insights about your new path. So there you go for the supermoon. It's going to show you the blocks. Mercury is going to show you in communicating type of way, the answers and solutions to that new path. And then you've got some dramatic energy with Venus and Leo, and so we're all about expressing emotions, attracting attention, and just a general capacity for enthusiasm. Now the downside is some people might be influenced into more drama queen, so don't fall into that trap. But if you can see how the DreamBot linguistics word bodies comes in here with this Venus and Leo, you're expressing emotions and enthusiastic, but the drama queen needs other bodies. You're attracting attention from what? Attention from other bodies. So the bodies is definitely indicated here on both sides, the astrology and the collective unconscious, and as well as emotion. There's a lot of emotion in the Venus and Leo, as well as the new supermoon in Gemini. So overall today, your co-mind punchline, if you will, the influence is with other people, bodies being people, and attracting that attention. And I realize that a lot of people are hermits, or they have social anxiety. So I understand that. This isn't forcing you to go socialize all of a sudden if you're not inclined to. But it's a tendency, it's an influence. So this would be a great time, if you have that social anxiety, to take some of the basic skills that maybe you've learned from a counselor or from a teacher, and go use those for a short time today and see if that makes a difference. This is a good day to try those things. But when we're with other people, we're naturally going to be coming out with expressions of new solutions. So looking at the timing today, you're going to be having those solutions first, and then the supermoon, the new moon in Gemini, will be coming in later this afternoon, evening, to show you what your blocks are. So you might get the solution before the actual problem. That's okay, as long as they're commensurate and they make sense together. I'm all for it. So with that, that's a wrap. Again, I'm Chris McCleary. Please subscribe. We're not going to do videos yet every day. That's the plan in the future. Definitely got to fix this software issue. But we're just kind of experimenting, just like the influence wants us to, is experimenting with new communications. And so we are doing photos, say like on Instagram, photo summaries of the Co-Mind report. We're also doing written reports periodically. So you got to be aware of all these different places and methods that we're getting the word out. And subscribe. We have Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and of course YouTube. I am a licensed counselor in Arkansas. I'm also an advanced alcohol and drug counselor, and so I know how to help people with various problem sets. Retired military, so I understand about PTSD and separating from the family, going on deployments, etc. So anxiety, mood swings, etc. I can use online methods to do counseling online anywhere in Arkansas, or my office is in Lowell, Arkansas. So just subscribe today and get a hold of me if you're interested in having a session. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.